All right, ladies and gentlemen. Don't really have anything we're watching yet, but we had a lot of momentum yesterday. So the strategy today is to not start the day off with a huge loss. So just really managing risk, taking small base hits, building up a cushion, and then evaluating what I have from there. So that's kind of where I'm at. So PRCP really needs to break over the VWAP. VWAP's at 611, but over 6 could be an add. I'm gonna take a starter there. So I got 500 shares at 6. Let it pull back for a second. And I just sold there at the VWAP. I didn't want to hold. I didn't think that was going to break out convincingly, but it needs to break over VWAP and hold at this point. So over 611. So I would have felt pretty uncomfortable, like kind of trying to hold in this level. See, because it's like, look, like, where do you stop? Oh, this freaking McAfee. You know, you could buy a dip here, but it's just kind of like right under the VWAP, like it's weak. It needs to just break over it and hold before really any setup works. It's just going to be, if it can't break over the VWAP, it's just going to be continuously weak. I could have bought that dip there at 50 though. I'm surprised I got filled up here because these spreads are crazy. So I'm watching here. I'm at 514 for the false halt. Okay, so I bought there at 514, sold at 535, 500 shares. So that's a $100 winner. Okay, so we're following the game plan so far. My idea was to just get a couple base hits, build up a cushion. I have a cushion now. I'm feeling good. Okay, so the reason I bought there, even though this is like considerably weak and was about to halt going down, is because it false halted. So typically when something like false halts, unless it is showing like significant strength or weakness, when something false halts, it typically whips in the other direction, at least momentarily. So what we got there was, I got in at 515 towards the bottom. It popped up 20 cents, sold. That's a good trade with 500 shares. You know, my stop would have just been down at the halt again. Or if the halt level was down at the whole dollar. So this is probably gonna halt now. I doubt there would be 2 false halts in a row. Let's see, CVV. CVV, pretty light volume still. There is news though. Spreads are huge for this price range. Almost 20 cents. Okay, so this looks like it's gonna halt. I don't know that I'm gonna buy this just because of the volume. I feel more comfortable just buying coming out of it. I don't want to get trapped. So we'll wait for resumption on that. All right, so we're gonna watch CVV coming out of this halt. I don't have like super high hopes for it just because the volume's pretty low. And you know, this number isn't always accurate on the level too, but it's showing it's only gonna open like 10 cents higher. So I'll punch at the $0.50 probably. is the best entry point for me, even though it's a breakout. What would be nice is if it dipped a little bit, like a tiny bit, or came back to the close level or the open level or whatever. Here, let me just see here. Let me stop effing around. I'm gonna buy there at 50. I'm in at 449. I just sold there. I sold at 30. So it kind of flushed for a second and popped for a second. Well, it didn't flush. It popped for a second, came back to 50 and was holding 50. So I was like, all right, I'll buy there. I was like, all right, I'll buy there and then ride it higher, and then it flushed. So I'm glad I got out at 30 though. That wasn't a huge loss. So this thing is just crashing now. You know, it was a risky buy just because it pretty much had to be a winner. You know, it just had to go up. I had no really room to stop out, but you know, the potential was that this shoots up and halts again, you know. So I got out. I'm glad I took small share size, 500 shares. So RIGL we'll look at, but this is like 160 million share float. I'm pretty sure I'm not comfortable trading this, but I can just look at it on resumption. It actually looks like it's going to resume low. So we'll see what happens here. It's going to resume in about a minute. So where I'm sitting on the day right now is, you know, had a solid winner. Then I had a, you know, loser, gave back almost a little more than half my profit. So I have a very small cushion. I'm in the green. The goal is to just not go into the red. I can't keep losing. If I take another loss, probably got to just stop for the day. Probably get another nice trade in and then be done, because this is pretty choppy action today. I don't want to push my luck. But as always, if something starts taking off like it did yesterday, I'm going to hop on it and stay there. So RIGL about to resume here. I think this is going to open low. Yeah, I was going to buy that dip, but with this float and this volume, it's like hard to. This one candle has a range of 80 cents. It's like, how do you time that? Maybe if this can hold 4. Yeah, I don't like that candle. I'm not even gonna try to. This one low volume again. I'm gonna take 250 shares into this halt. And I'll look to add back coming out of the halt. I think that that's just the safest course of action. I think that this one gets to 6. But I don't feel confident in it enough to you know, take 500 or 1,000 shares into it. That would just be reckless, considering I forgot what I was just saying. Sorry, I was listening to something else. You know, just considering my cushion on the day, it would just be unwise for you to take large share size. And it's very possible this opens higher and flushes, and you can be like, why didn't you take higher share size? I gotta manage risk first and foremost. If this thing flushes on me, you know, if it just fails, whatever, you know, can't risk a big loss. So I'd rather it just prove itself to me and add on the way up than take a chance. CLEU resuming in about a minute and a half. Resuming at 52 and 48 seconds, so we'll watch there. So my stop's going to be break even on this one. I'm not going to hold. I can always stop out, and my average is 32. Stopped. I don't feel comfortable. Look at this action. It's so weird. the second this stock opened and I saw 30, I was just watching this bid. Sorry, you can't see my hand. I was watching this bid the whole time because I was like, if this opens lower than 40, like, no chance I'm holding it. Because I was like, I can't hold past my entry point. I can't afford to take a loss. So it opened 435, and that's 3 cents off from my average. And I just said, yep, no chance. It's not worth it. And, you know, this did pop huge here, but you saw how weird that action was. It might have been hard to get filled, and then you had to be super quick. It would have failed. And really, really great risk management. All right, guys, so we're watching PRCP now. Look for a dip here unless this halts. False halt. I look to buy off the VWAP. So I sold there, another false halt. So I'm going to buy there. I'm in at 71. Okay. So that's going to be it for me there. I'm getting away with my money's worth. So I just took 2 really great trades. I took a trade at 590, 1,000, or I added 500 shares twice. So 1,000 shares. Halt level was at 6. I didn't want to hold into the halt, so it came up to the halt level. I sold, and then it was a great trade because it ended up false halting, coming back down, flushed down to the VWAP. I bought off the VWAP support at 71, 1,000 shares, sold up at 82, which I tried to get filled higher. I could have gotten filled like 86, but whatever. You know, 11 cents of profit. That's 2 trades. That's $200 I just made right there. And that's it. I'm calling it a day because I got to get out of here. But 2 great solid trades right at the end of the day. And that's great. So I'm going to call it a day, up $262.50. And that's it. This is popping up further, but I'm done. I'm not going to push my luck. I just had 2 great trades. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Thanks.